Hello folks, it is Saturday the 13th of June 2020 and we are out at the Carron Reservoir. It's a very foggy day. We've just been at the bridge of Carron Bridge, and we just pulled the car off the side of the road and wanted to come down here. I don't know if you'll be able to see just between those two shrubs. There's a family of geese out there, and there's another family of geese here right in the center of the frame, and another family of geese further along, or possibly swans further along, I'm not sure. Anyways, it's another holy Sabbath, and we are keeping this day of holy rest. We're also studying God's holy word. We're just about to finish up 2 Samuel. That sound, that call is coming from the oyster catcher who's been flying around here. Anyways, we're reading 2 Samuel and just about to finish it up before we go back and revisit Genesis and Exodus, and then carrying on again with 1st and 2nd Kings and moving forward. But we've had a really nice day. This is an amazing place. So foggy. We're actually very close to where we're living. Very close to where we're living, but we have not come out in this direction before, so this is completely and utterly new. I hope you're having a good day today, and all for now. May God bless you and your loved ones. You can see the fog coming in over those evergreen trees right in the center of the frame. And we're just going to walk out onto this beautiful little peninsula. That's the oyster catcher right there. Or I thought so. It was one of the oyster catchers, because the one that I actually saw is still ahead behind this tree. Anyways, we just talked to this amazing 12-year-old kid. I never knew what an oyster catcher was before we came to Scotland, but we see them all the time, and you can always hear their distinctive call. Anyways, I was just saying that we met this amazing 12-year-old boy out fly fishing along the Carron River, right over by the bridge of Carron, or Carron Bridge, and he and his family have been living out there for multiple generations, which is quite amazing. And he goes out each weekend and fishes, and also spends time out there in the summer. But it's an amazing place for him to be. He's clearly a real fisherman, out on his waders and fly fishing. He had already caught a fish this morning, full of adventures, and it was really good to meet him. An amazing feather, which would make a beautiful quill pen, and I had found it a little while before we went and talked to him, and I just gave it to him, which he tucked into his waders as well. There go the geese families. You can just barely make out the trees on the other side of the reservoir. And there are sheep and cattle out here, and that's pretty much it. Some houses, but very, very few houses, very few people. Okay, we just had this amazing flyover by this oyster catcher. Just did this incredible flyby and turned around and was just hovering around us. Okay, let's see what's up here. This is a lot of goose poo all over the place. Here's a feather. This is a miniature version of the one that I gave to the boy. Yep. Yep. So that maybe gives us the answer, Catherine. We were wondering what kind of bird it came from, because this little peninsula seems to be inhabited by what kind of geese are they called? Just like common goose, I think. Sort of brownish, tawny color. Somebody's had a fire here. This would be a great place to come out and have a fire. So maybe that's what it belongs to. A goose quill. That is what they used to use, isn't it? Here he is. There he goes. There he goes. There's another one. He's going to come back around. There he is. Okay, he's going to come back around. Okay. Okay, there's still another one. There's 3. 1, 2, 3. This is obviously an old church and churchyard in Killearn, Scotland, and this is the birthplace of George Buchanan in the 16th century, who was the tutor to Mary, Queen of Scots, but also King James VI of the King James Bible. We just stumbled upon this, and this is the gate that we just came through. And beyond this old churchyard, they have an incredible church here as well. Incredibly beautiful church building. But here we go. Still the 13th of June, 2020. Saturday. And look at that hill. It's been really foggy and quite chilly today, really moist, but it started clearing up as we were sort of nearing this town. So we were just walking through town, looking at the church, which you can see, I think, the top of the steeple up there. And I turned around, and the last thing I expected to see behind that cluster of trees is that incredible obelisk. which is a Freemasonic structure, and it's much, much, much bigger than you can imagine. And it is in honor of George Buchanan, but it is much bigger. It's huge. I couldn't believe how big it was. We've seen a lot of obelisks traveling around Europe and different parts of England and things in the UK, but that is a huge obelisk in a small place. Okay, folks, just to give you some perspective on that obelisk that we were just looking at a moment ago. Again, George Buchanan, tutor to Mary Queen of Scots and King James VI of the King James Bible. That's right, 6th of Scotland, 1st of England. That's what Katharine just said. Okay, so it's much bigger than you might have thought it was. We were shocked when we just turned around and saw this thing, because it's in the middle of quite a small town. And we were standing over here, and as you can see, there's these cluster of trees. But from standing over there, I thought, what in the world is that? This big, humongous obelisk in the middle of town. Not even really in the middle of town, though I guess it is. Anyways, it's a nice town. Killearn. Never been here before. You've never been here before, have you? No. Mugdock Country Cycles gets a little cameo. This video is brought to you by Mugdock Country Cycles. It's not really, but they're getting some free advertising. Here, we'll just walk through town because it'll show you the church. So this, I think, is roughly where we were standing. Yeah, we were standing here, and I saw the base of this thing, and I think I stepped out here at that point. And then you can see it's the sort of size obelisk you might expect to find, on the Tiergarten in Berlin or in London somewhere, not in the middle of a small Scottish town. And right over here, this is the Church of Scotland.
Killearn Kirk.
Yep, Killearn Kirk. And the amazing thing is that's that, but I think it's got to be attached to this other church, because look at those tiny little windows. Those, what do you call those? Those tiny little windows, eave windows, little eaves, gable windows. But look how small they are. Anyways, you can see it's 8:40. The Church of Scotland, Killearn Kirk. But over here is the first church building that I saw and caused us to sort of pull over. This building is really beautiful, and it's got to be attached to this other church because the hall that goes along with the older, more traditional church, this church, in the back is a hall that is made to match this building. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. And we have no idea where it came from, but when we stepped out of our car, there was the strongest, most beautiful smell of incense, and not Indian type incense, more of a church incense. But it's Saturday night, there doesn't seem to be anybody in these buildings, so we have no idea where the smell of incense came, but it smelled amazing. Anyways, you can see this building. Yeah. And that's all for now, folks.